There we go. And we'll turn it over to you, Lane.
Okay, so let's see. I'm sorry, I was just looking at the minutes. I should go back to the agenda. So call the meeting to order and see who's here. I am present.
I am also present.
By phone. Excellent. And Josh and Cynthia are present.
Yep, you got all four of us.
Excellent. So I guess next item is opportunity for public comment, but I don't think we have any members of the public present. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, so we can move on to approval of the minutes from October 7th, which I am sort of currently scanning quickly.
Yeah, I apologize.
That's fine.
I'll give you a second because they're very short, and then I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, excellent.
I just realized when you said I'll give you a second, you were referring to the unit of time, not seconding a motion.
I know, me too.
Yeah.
Great.
I was confused.
That's great. You all
All
do
right,
too many meetings.
I'm done. I have no question. Well, that's not entirely true that I have no questions. I wonder what happened to the wall at Bagel Zone that UConn student athletes had been signing for years and years and years, but maybe they're just going to tear that down. I don't know if anyone bothered to take it out with them, but I have no questions about the minutes. So
I'll tell you that the new Bagel Zone has a table dedicated to the basketball team, but no signed walls. So I don't know. I don't think it was salvaged.
I think she wanted
Right.
to bring it, but I don't know
Mhm.
that I don't think it happened. Like as Valessa said, I didn't see it in there.
got it. Well, I see there's like a ton of big construction equipment there. I don't think they even have to tear things down. I think they could just run over them with all the stuff that's there, and that would do it.
I know,
But,
but they keep sitting there. Like they're probably doing stuff I don't see because I come in that way every morning, and I haven't,
Mhm.
I come in and of course I don't go back there till I leave, or if that, I kind of go the back way. But yeah, I haven't seen too much moving yet.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they'll get to it. That stuff's expensive, so they don't want to leave it lying around for too long.
Right.
So do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
You have a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, I will second that, and we can vote, and I vote to approve.
Aye.
Excellent. The minutes are approved. Next item is the review of the draft fiscal year 23-24 budget priorities. And Cynthia, I think I will hand it over to you to explain that one to us.
Yeah, no, of course. So I'll try to hit the high points and interrupt me when you have a question. So we'll just go through. The 40,000 is just, and you both know this, but our consulting agreement with the town to provide economic development services. So our second iteration of a 3-year agreement, I should take up pilot because it's not really a pilot anymore, ends June 30th. So I am working with Ryan on an extension of that agreement, assuming that the EDC and that he and the council continue to agree as we go through this process over the next 5 months or so. Mainly that 40,000 goes toward essentially Josh's salary, and then some work by Kathleen and myself. So asking for support from the EDC to continue that initiative. Continuing to promote the town for development. Jennifer Kaufman, the Director of Planning and Development, we continue to meet with prospective developers. I haven't met with as many in the last couple of months, I will say. And I think, as you both know from the development activity, there's a lot going on with the housing, particularly student housing. We're really hoping to finalize that parcel book for promotion. And Kathleen and I have the lead on that with some help from Jennifer. So I'm really hoping we can get that done early 2023, because that will feed into updating the economic development website as well. And then a lot of my time has been on the Connecticut's countryside promotion. We just pushed out a press release with the new logo and brand. We've got an intern helping us from UConn, and we've updated sort of our assets, and kind of the key things are a summit that we're going to do in January that you should have gotten an invite to, probably through Josh Hull, not to be confused with Josh Stern, to kind of update the stakeholders that were here and
It's
new
very
invites.
confusing.
Yeah, especially when they're both here. Yeah. And just, this is where we're going. This is the brand. These are some of the things we're planning. So we are planning to do, I call it a regional Earth Day event, but it's really more each town doing different events and then us promoting them as a region. And so we're actually meeting on this with the town events team next week, I think. Oh no, actually, I'm sorry, Thursday. So that's taken a lot of my time, but it's been a good effort. I think it's been supported by our town administrators, so including Ryan. Continuing the business digest that Kathleen started in 2022. I think she's done a great job with that. And if you all have any feedback, we'd love to hear that. I mentioned the updating the website. Let's see. We, at the suggestion, I think it was of Kristen, we included information in the winter welcome bags from all businesses in Mansfield. And, we were pleased with how many people participated. And I don't know if you guys know Lucy. Did you see that in there, Valessa, in the little bag? Did you? Lucy promoted her, she's a graphic designer, and she also made brownies. So there was a little brownie in, which was nice. It was good.
I loved that. It's
Yeah,
creative.
I know. Yeah, very creative. So, and then that possible application for the Mansfield Cultural District. We're waiting on Steve and Ryan wanted to see if UConn could partner with us on this, not putting it together necessarily if we do it, but someone to kind of be the conduit for the university, since a lot of our culture is related to UConn. Any questions sort of on the first part?
Nope.
Okay.
None other.
Yeah, go ahead, Alyssa.
Some of the sort of progress toward I'm not sure all of the different web things that have happened, but I've been on the website recently and I feel like there's more information there and it's getting better. So I think it's probably coming out of this. No.
On the town website or?
No, just like when I search for what's going on around here, it's easier to find things recently. So.
Oh, good. Well, we're going to talk about a piece of that. Good. I'm glad to hear that. That's good. Yeah, that's probably a lot of that's Margaret and Kathleen.
That's what I suspect. Yeah.
Yeah. So just to let both of you know, on the ARPA, I'm still waiting on Steve Bacon. So I'm going to actually be at the Cultural Coalition's event tomorrow, speaking on a panel about municipalities and arts. So Wednesday, if I don't hear from him, I'm going to give him a little reminder so we can close that out and do the suggestions that you have, Alessa, which everyone agreed with in terms of those two folks. So, all right, so I'm going to just pop down to the marketing. So the bottom of page 2. Just to update you all on the wayfinding and signage plan, which is the consultants are funded through our marketing budget of 50,000 that we're looking at, which that will not be for next calendar year. They should be finished by the spring. We spent 2 full days with them last week, going around to all the locations for the signs. It was laborious, but we didn't get killed. We didn't get hit. So, we were on a couple of sides of 195 where I'm like, oh boy, because we did was, it was actually not me. It was Kathleen and Jennifer got out of the car with a whiteboard with the number of the sign written on the whiteboard, and Glenn from Merge would take a picture so he knows exactly where the sign goes. So, but it got me to get around Mansfield more and just realize, how beautiful this town really is. I hadn't been like out Gurleyville way and Wormwood Hill in a long time. So So that was good. So we're hoping to get that done, their piece done in February or so, and start being able to go out to bid for at least the first iteration of signs, and we have to prioritize where they're gonna go. So the two of the items under the plan are Margaret's Court. So one is the media plan. That's where a large bulk of our dollars would go to continue to promote Mansfield with ads, possibly video. And then the community calendar. So that was sort of over in the finance department. Hopefully it's getting pushed out of there because that's something that's definitely been on a lot of people's radar. Restaurant Week is in progress for next year. We've opened that up to the whole town of Wyndham. Which is great, which is good. So that will be, I think it's last week of February, first week of March. The other thing that Kathleen and I have discussed is, actually this is probably more for downtown, but provide some trainings for businesses on storefront activation. So we, some people just have it down to a science, but we see posters that are left up that were things that happened a while ago, like just hiding things that should be able to display what's there. So that's something that Kathleen and I have been discussing that would be new that we might do. And I think, excuse me, and then Taste of Mansfield, this is so all these amounts are exactly the same as the current fiscal year request. So for Taste, just looking to continue to promote it. Josh has taken on the staffing for that because Alyssa was an intern in UConn's office. And so he's been working with Margaret on Taste of Mansfield. We hope to do the Champion Award again. That'll be on the EDC agenda for next week. And then possibly using some of our funds to get back to doing some community dinners. I don't know if either of you went to any of those, but yeah, that was probably before you were here, Valessa. But the school district had a grant to do community dinners, and they probably did like 3 or 4 of them, and they were pretty successful. So I don't think they have that grant anymore. So we're brainstorming possibly bringing that back. So this is a little bit of a moving target because we haven't thoroughly fleshed that out, and some of the marketing with Kathleen and Margaret, I'm still fleshing that out a bit, but we just have to, this 6-month leadway makes things, a little bit of a challenge to kind of know exactly what we're going to be doing July 1st. So anyway, that's kind of it in a nutshell, and loved your comments, additions, feedback.
The storefront thing, I think, would be great. I'd love to see that happen.
Great.
Other than that, it all looks very similar to last year and all good things as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like you guys do a whole lot for what the budget is, which is great. I guess the only question I still have, and it's probably more a question for the EDC than it is for this committee, but are we still trying at some level to push for some kind of full-time economic development position, or are we just, this is kind of where we are now? And I guess that's just a larger overarching question. Not that you guys haven't doing, like I said, incredible work, and I think the town's getting incredible value for what it's spending on, but there's kind of only so much you guys can do. So.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan and I had a discussion, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, a little bit about the 40,000 and staffing. And so one of the things that I suggested to him, I don't know if I can do it, Lane, for this fiscal year, just with, like I said, all these deadlines, but I do want to look at the partnership's role in terms of operations and some of the things that we do, the parking, making sure the benches are pulled. I mean, it sounds minimal, but it's a lot of my time, and I continue to push against like that amount of time where I could be out more in the field, which, you know, I'm trying to do more. But I still have not achieved that goal. So we have had some discussion about that. So it's something that it's going to be ongoing. So I'm hoping to put together a couple of ideas. And I don't know, Lane, you were probably here when this were you on the EDC when this started? Have you been on the EDC for 6 years?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't remember.
Yep.
And, you know, Matt Hart, the former town manager, had me do like 20 different iterations of what economic development would look like. And, you know, certainly
Right.
that was part of it. I mean, I will say, and, you know, part of the advantage is that, you know, we do have the Yukon support for the partnership. So there's a lot of, you know, it's not a one-to-one. So you're getting the advantage of sort of having the Yukon piece and the funding. That's kind of one of the key reasons to keep the structure the way it is.
Right.
Are there enough new people on the EDC? It might be helpful to run through what the partnership agreement is in a little bit more detail.
Yeah, so, and I can send you guys the current agreement so you can see it. I probably should have done that. So, you know, it's basically what's kind of covered in here. And again, most of the funding goes toward having Josh here to do sort of all the work that he does. But yeah, it just, the marketing, meeting with potential developers, businesses, you know, the recruitment and the retention, we definitely could be doing more, I think. So, but I'll send that to the whole EDC just so they have it for the next, well, I'll send it to you guys after this meeting, and then I'll send it to the full EDC probably as part of the packet.
Okay. That'd be helpful. So I didn't really have any other questions about the budget stuff.
Okay, well, I'll put this in the packet for the meeting next week. Or yeah, is the meeting? No, when is the meeting? Yes, next week. I'll put that in the packet for next week's meeting. And we'll go from there.
Okay, sounds good. The next item on the agenda is communications. I don't know if do we have anything under that one?
No, I think that's kind of a standing item. I'm not sure that needs to stay there, but we'll just leave it there for now.
Okay. And then future meetings and future meeting topics being the ever popular EDC member recruitment.
Yeah, so I think, go ahead, Lee.
Oh, no, I was going to say I didn't, once again, I have no epiphanies on that, so I don't know if you all do.
I know Steve had spoken to that one gentleman, and so I don't know what the status is on that. Josh and I have our EDC prep meeting with him on Wednesday, so I'm just going to make a note to ask him whether he's, because I think the goal would be to bring him to the subcommittee and have a chat, and we do have presumably a meeting on January 6th. So,
okay.
So let me ask him about that.
And if we do bring on one other person, how many vacancies does that mean we have, or do we have any at that point?
That
Yeah, I
fills
think we
it,
have
right?
2 right now, right, Melissa? Yeah. So then,
Okay. So we'd have one left if we added one.
right.
I still like the idea of hitting up the Eastbrook Animal Hospital.
Oh,
But I did have a question about that. Would it have to be the owner? Like, what are our bylaws or our laws about? Could it just be an employee? I don't know how that works.
it can be, but I do think they have to be a resident of Mansfield.
Okay.
That's the only caveat, but I personally, I don't know how Lane feels, but I doesn't have to be the owner necessarily.
Okay.
No,
Is someone working there?
I wouldn't think so.
And I was just gonna cold ask them because I don't have another angle, but then Tony said that maybe Ryan's wife works there, so I'm not sure
Oh.
how did
that's
I
right.
backed off.
Yeah. Okay, let me. So there wasn't somebody specific there that you had in mind necessarily, Valessa, so, okay. Let me check with him on that, just to
Yeah.
see if that's, yeah, I forgot which one she worked at, so,
I didn't realize that, yeah, so.
yeah, I knew she was a vet, but I wasn't sure which one. But I'll check with him on next time I talk to him. I just wrote myself a note.
And do they have to be a resident of Mansfield, or is there also some sort of level where they work in Mansfield, or
So
run a business in Mansfield?
We said something about that at the minutes of the last EDC meeting, I think.
yeah, and I think I checked with Sarah Ann. I don't think it's in our bylaws, but let me double check those too, Elaine. I can't remember.
Okay, yeah, well, I should remember.
Well, I should
but
too. Things
many
go
things
in
to
and things
remember.
go out.
Yeah,
And let me see if I can find Sarah Ann's email too. I'll check that and then also send you the
Okay.
agreement after the meeting.
okay, great. Well, I think that brings us to adjournment, unless there's any other new business that anyone wants to bring up, anything random or otherwise. No? Okay, well, I would move that we adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
All right, it's been moved and seconded, and I think we probably both approve. So
I approve.
that's a wrap for this one.
Thanks, Lane.
All right, yeah, thanks, Lynn. You guys have a good day.
Thanks. See you guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
You too.